Hi students, and welcome back to today's second live IELTS class. In this class we are looking at task 2 writing about saving Earth. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com. For academic IELTS success, visit us there. For the general IELTS, please visit us at gieltshelp.com. These are the classes that power these live lessons. We have all of our materials, practice exams, videos on these websites, so check them out. Welcome, Afwang. Hi, Anna. Elizabeth, nice to see a lot of our members. Welcome, Carolina. Welcome, Shiva. Gulbakhor, so I'm getting the pronunciation there. Gulbakhor. Good to see our subscribers. This is a subscribers chat class, everybody. So to join the chat for this task 2 IELTS essay, you need to subscribe to our channel. It's free and it's definitely worth it so that you get notifications of these live classes. The websites that power these live classes look like this. This is the academic IELTS website here with the blue background. You can click this big red button that's just right above my head there to join the premium version of our course and get access to all of our materials. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. We're an IDP affiliate. We're a British Council partner. We're an IELTS test registration center. We are world leaders when it comes to IELTS exam preparation. I'm a British Council agent. Your premium package includes a My Student account, which has lots of goodies, including a full interactive course that's got all of the steps needed for you to write a good task 2 essay. Basically, it shows you the structure of the essay and goes through each of the steps. We will actually go through this together. You do not need a title in the IELTS, but you definitely need an introduction with a hook, a background and a thesis, and you need a couple of body paragraphs with a topic sentence, clear explanation, examples, and then a conclusion. So again, to get those details, visit the website. We will go through these steps with today's sample task 2 question. For the general IELTS, it's gieltshelp.com. It's the green background, and you can click that big red button there to join the premium version of the course. So again, that's aehelp.com, gieltshelp.com. The apps for the websites are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. The apps will link to the websites. Students, for another sample task 2 essay, always look for the blogs. We've got lots of task 2 essay band 9 examples on the website. And there you are. And of course, as many of you know, you can also get the courses through YouTube, through Shopify. I'm going to drop the products into the live chat right now. You will be able to see them here pretty quick. They'll pop up underneath, I believe, the live stream. If you buy the courses through Shopify, just send us an email so we can activate those accounts for you. For questions and for account activations, email me, Adrian at aehelp.com or admin at aehelp.com. All right. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. The apps from your app stores, when you download them, go to More and you can link them to the websites. Okay. All right, so we've got task 2 coming up right now. Tomorrow we've got speaking part 2 for members. We actually speak to students, so not just using the chat, but we use the website to talk to students, and you can actually verbally practice your speaking with me. And then tomorrow on the website, we're going to have a live class also. So we have live classes now on the websites. That will be a speaking part 3. We want people to use the live classes there because they are very effective. They're designed for the IELTS specifically, the whole system. Okay. So there you go. There's the link to our most recent Task 1 writing for the academic IELTS. Check that out when you have a moment. It's a really good Task 1 essay. Let's jump into Task 2. So you've reached Task 2. Task 2 is the last part of the sitting section of the exam. So you sit for almost 3 hours to do the listening, the reading, and then the writing. And Task 2 in the writing is the final stage in your IELTS exam, aside from, of course, your speaking interview, which is done separately. Read the question carefully, everybody. Okay, take time. Don't rush reading the question. If you misread and you write off topic, so not on the right ideas, then you'll get a lower score. So make sure that you read carefully. Let's do this. Let's read this together. Many experts and people agree that the biggest challenge facing all of humanity is environmental change. What do you think is the cause of this problem, and what are solutions to ensure the survival of humanity? It's quite an important question going into the future, right? I think we can all agree that we're experiencing some big changes in the world, in the environment, and we need to take steps to make sure that Earth and humans survive as best as possible. Give answers and explanations for your ideas and use examples from your own experience. Now, hopefully you care about this topic, okay? I know sometimes IELTS students think, well, I don't know anything about this, I don't really care about this, but you have to, okay? The first tip for you in today's class is always find the topic interesting. You'll just write a better essay. Tip: always find the topic interesting, or the question of Task 2 interesting, because you will write a better essay when you are excited about the content. Okay, so in an exam, you should always be excited about the questions. You should always feel interested in those questions. Your brain will just work way better. Okay, even if at first thought you're like, it's kind of boring. No, it's not boring. It's an exam. It's your mark. It's your future. It's exciting. Woohoo! Okay, I want to write about this. So I want to explain my ideas. All right, so the Task 2, as I said, should have 4 paragraphs, okay? So 4 paragraphs. They are the introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and the conclusion, okay? The introduction, as you saw that diagram on our website there, the introduction has 3 parts, okay? It has a hook, background, and thesis, okay? This isn't Adrian said this, or John said that, or Chris said that, or Kevin said that, or Sarah said that. It's standard, okay? This is standard English writing, okay? Okay, so you hear a lot of advice online, like, oh, in the IELTS you don't need a hook. Oh, in the IELTS you don't need this. Oh, in the IELTS you don't need that. Oh, in the IELTS you should just write this essay we'll discuss. No, students, no, that's not how it works. IELTS is an English exam. It's an equivalency exam, okay? So keep this in mind that IELTS is also a grade 12 English equivalency exam. It means, are you able to produce the same kind of English literature, in this case, as a grade 12 student? So can you write an essay the way this is taught in grade 12 English schools. And guess what? In English schools in grade 12, they teach you that a good introduction has a hook, a background, and a thesis. Okay? Okay, it's not Adrian said this. Ask a teacher. All right. The reason I tell you that is because a lot of people get bad information from bad sources where people don't really know what an English essay actually is. Okay. What type of essay is task 2? Okay. And again, a grade 12 English student will be able to quickly identify this based on the question. So a task 2 essay in the IELTS is one of the 4 key kinds of essays that you write in school or in literature. The 4 main types of essays are descriptive essays, expository essays, which we just did for task 1, process essay in the last class. If you missed it, check out the video. Then they have narrative essays, which is basically like telling a story. An email or a letter is a narrative essay. That's task 1 in the general IELTS. And then task 2 of the general IELTS and academic, because it's a big part of school and work, is, Fuang says, a persuasive essay. That's right, Ming. That's right, Anahita. Good job. People are paying attention. It's a persuasive essay. There are many kinds of persuasive essays, okay? So, for example, argumentative essays are one type of persuasive essay, okay? Counter-argument essays are another type of persuasive essay, okay? And there are more. You can check it out. I'm not going to digress or go into a lot of details there because there are lots and lots of different kinds. IELTS is actually testing you for different kinds of essays like this because they have different questions, right? Like discuss both sides or choose one side and give your opinion. So they have a few different versions of persuasive essay questions that they ask. I strongly recommend doing some research on what is a persuasive essay if this is new for you. Okay. All right. So task 2 is a persuasive essay. Now for the introduction, before you jump in, to get a good introduction, paraphrase the question so you have some clear ideas on what you're writing. So let's do that together, everybody. Let's look at the task 2 question again, and let's paraphrase this in our own words. Okay. So many experts and people agree that the biggest challenge facing all of humanity is environmental change. Okay, so most individuals and scientists. Okay, so instead of people and experts, I'm going to say individuals and scientists, and I even switched the order, right, to make it a little bit more interesting. And instead of many, I wrote most. So most individuals and scientists. What's another way to say agree? Okay, how can you say agree? Just testing your vocabulary. In this lesson, you will find that I will teach you vocabulary, grammar, structure, technique, all together. It's all this kind of integrated teaching style, and people like it. Suppose is okay, Fuang. It's kind of weak in this context. They don't just suppose. They're quite sure. Okay? We don't just suppose. Yeah, Carolina says concluded. Now, keep the same verb form, Carolina. So instead of concluded, say conclude. Okay? Fuang, I like the word concur. That was the one in my mind. Concur. Concur means to be in strong agreement. Okay? So most individuals and scientists concur that the... instead of biggest challenge, the main issue, right? A challenge is an issue, and this is a big one, so it's definitely an issue. Most individuals and scientists concur that the main issue facing all of humanity. What's another way to say that? Anna says a large number of experts and individuals support the notion that the biggest problem that humanity is facing today is environmental changes in nature. Anna, that's good. I would say that you have about 60% paraphrasing there. For really good paraphrasing, you want to reach 90% paraphrasing, where 90% of the words are different, not just the word form, but completely different, and the grammar is completely different. Okay, so aim for that 90% paraphrase. Okay. All right. Nichtab, I can't read the Cyrillic there, confront. That the main issue confronting people. I would stick with humanity here because we're looking at humans as a race. Okay, so confronting humanity. This is the one word I would keep from the original. Humanity is changes in nature and climate, right? Which is kind of a part of nature, but I'm pulling that out a bit. So confronting humanity is changes in nature and climate. Okay. And we could paraphrase the word changes as well. All right. Okay. Anahita says many environmentalists and individuals concur that the hugest, we don't use hugest, Anahita. It's too colloquial and it's basically not used, not even in spoken English. Okay, so avoid the word huge in your writing. Confronting all people is climate and change in nature. Yes, I would avoid, Anahita, using environmental change if you use the person noun environmentalist. Okay. So changes in nature and climate. Instead of changes, I might even say variations. All right, that could be another way to say it. So again, with your paraphrasing, be careful. It's really important that you perfectly understand the question and that you're gathering good vocabulary. That's why we're doing this, okay? So here's an important thought, okay? Note, the reason you need to paraphrase the task to question is to have clear understanding and to think of good vocabulary. This is not necessarily your introduction. Again, in grade 12 English class, you will learn that a good introduction just does not simply repeat the question. Okay? So always have good paraphrasing and good understanding. Okay. What do you think is the cause of this problem and what are the solutions? So what factors have led to this situation and how can this be resolved in the future to guarantee that people can continue to thrive? Okay, so that would be my paraphrase of the rest of the question. Now read the original, read the paraphrase, okay? So many experts and people agree that the biggest challenge facing all of humanity is environmental change. What do you think is the cause of this problem, and what are solutions to ensure the survival of humanity? Most individuals and scientists concur that the main issue confronting humanity is variations in nature and climate. What factors have led to this situation, and how can this be resolved in the future to guarantee that people can continue to thrive? All right. And that works. Thong says this. Sorry. That did not copy. Let's try to copy that again. Okay, so Thong says this. The most debated question has derived from the difficulties of humanity people encounter. This phenomenon can be attributed to some factors which require some viable solutions to combat. Thuong, this is not a good paraphrase for one very important reason. You missed the subject. I cannot see where environmental change is mentioned in your paraphrasing. You missed the subject or the topic of this question. Be really careful about this, okay? And also, it's not a debated question. It's an agreed on topic, okay? So the most discussed and it's not a question, right? So the most discussed issue or challenge or problem has derived from the difficulties of humanity that people encounter regarding environmental change. Okay? So you have to have that subject, otherwise it doesn't make sense. All right? So be really careful, students. Those paraphrasing have to be accurate. Okay, what's the topic? Always identify the topic in the next step. So step 1, paraphrase. Step 1, paraphrase. Step 2, identify the topic. Never write an essay without identifying the topic. The exact topic, okay? Never write an essay without first clearly identifying the topic. You should never do that. It's very dangerous. It can lead to off-topic responses. Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat there. It's still early morning here. All right, so what's the topic in this? What does this essay talk about? Anita says it's environmental change. Not quite. Okay. Tsegareta says it's addressing the global challenge of environmental change. Yes, Tsegareta, you're right. Can you simplify? Okay, now when you identify the topic, the other important tip or trick is make it simple. Okay. Capera says global warming. It's not just global warming, right? Global warming is a part of that change, but it's not just global warming. So what else? Okay, I would write this as yes, problems so it's the challenges of environmental change. Yeah, Azim, very good. Azim, I love it. So Azim says the topic here is global environmental issues. I love it. You know what? I actually like yours more than mine, Aziz. Okay. So Aziz says we could say it's global environmental issues. 100%. Okay. Now, the controlling idea. Okay. That's the other aspect of step 2. So identify the topic and the controlling idea or ideas. The controlling ideas are basically like, what do you have to do in connection to the topic? Okay, that's what you have to think about. So what do I need to do? In relation to the topic. So in relation to this topic of global environmental issues, what do I need to do? What's the controlling idea? Favor, the question's above. You'll see it. The question is always in the description as well. So we always put the question in the video description so you can check it at all times. Okay. Anahita, it says the factors that led to it and the solutions. Yeah, so the causes and the solutions to environmental change. Yes, exactly. Big topic, right? Okay, so now you want to be able to explain this. So first, define it. What is environmental change? Okay, step 3 is critical thinking. It means ask what, why, how about the topic and the controlling idea. So what is environmental change? Okay, and I know that a lot of you right away think, well, it's climate change and increasing temperatures. Okay, that's your first thought. Go beyond that. What else is included in environmental change? Stranger, yeah, you can use a pretend survey or pretend facts for sure, as long as they're believable. You're going to see me do that here in this essay for sure. Yeah. So what is environmental change? Okay, Anahita, I see plus animals. Okay, what do you mean? Right? Give me some details here. All right, give me some details, students. So what is change in the environment? What are the negative changes in the environment that we're experiencing, which are concerning? The changes in temperatures is part of that, but it's not the only problem, right? And we've got a bigger issue at hand here, everybody. So what other factors, what other aspects of the environment are changing that are creating problems? So Okpalugo says climate change, increasing temperature affects the lives of animals. So what do you mean? How does it affect it? Elizabeth says health issues. What does that mean, health issues? Think about the environment. Azim says any event that causes human problems. Azim, that is too general. You have to be specific, okay? This is an important tip, everybody. You only have about 250 to 300 words for the IELTS Task 2. So your answers have to be specific, okay? Tip, you have to write specific ideas in Task 2 to get a high score. Okay, if you write general ideas, even with good English, you will not get more than band 7, even with perfect English. Okay, all right. Very good. Norel Safa says pollution. What kind of pollution? Deforestation. Very good. Now we're starting to think. So deforestation, dying animals. What do we call that together? So how can we write that? What's a simple way? So you have to write specific, and then the next layer here is concise. So once you have your specific ideas like deforestation and animals dying, then you have to be concise. So we can write that in a much more academic, concise way. Very good, Fuang. So Fuang says extinction of flora and fauna. Yes, flora meaning plants, fauna meaning animals. Okay. If this is new vocabulary, everyone, make sure to write it down, right? So climate change is increasing temperatures. or sorry, environmental change, not climate. Environmental change is increasing temperatures, deforestation, dying animals. Simply or concisely put, it's the extinction of flora and fauna. Pollution is going to be a cause of that, right, Anna? Deforestation. Yeah. Okay. So we can put it here if this is where you remember it, and then you can shift it later. Pollution of land, water, and air, right? So to really get a high band task 2, ideally in a perfect world, when you get this question, these thoughts come to your mind. Increasing temperatures, extinction of flora fauna, pollution of air, water, and land. Everybody got that? So for a Band 8, Band 9 essay, answer to this question, the examiner is looking for this content. Okay? So they're looking for global warming, extinction of flora and fauna, pollution of air, water, and land. All right? And maybe you'll agree with me. So if I ask you, right, you're the examiner, and you know this is the IELTS question, and you're looking for those very good and expert level essays, right? Because Band 8 means it's very good. And then Band 9 is expert. Then I think you will agree with the examiner, in this case with me, that these concepts should be included, right? If they're not included, or if only one of the 3 are included, it's hard to say that it's a very good essay. Even though it might be relatively good English, it's hard to say that the essay is good, okay? And definitely hard to say that it's an expert essay. Okay, do you agree with me on that? I think Alexander does. Alexander says, yeah, I would agree. If I'm reading a 300-word essay on environmental change, problem solutions, I'd like to see these 3 big topics discussed: global warming, extinction of flora fauna, pollution of water and land, right? Alexander says, no, I'll give you 2 thumbs up on that one. Fuang says yes. So the examiner is not some like old mean guy or woman that's like there to make your life like super like raw. I'm gonna make life so hard for these people. No, they have some very kind of like standard 1, 2, 3 concepts. 1, 2, 3. If we're talking about environmental change, you need to think of these ideas and express them in English. Okay? Make sense? Nana says yeah. Miriam says yeah. No, that's clear. All right. So those should be included. Now, we've thought about the topic, the controlling idea. Don't forget that. So controlling idea here are the causes and solutions. So let's break this down into 2. So the causes. A lot of people will very quickly, so your first thought, that should come fast, okay? IELTS questions are relatively common topics and simple topics, so they should come fast. So pollution, air, water, land, right? We just talked about that. Human activity, cars and factories. I'm sure that these answers are coming to your mind quickly. Anything else? So think deep. Essays that are able to bring new and interesting ideas to the examiner will definitely have a better chance to get a high score. Okay, so think about that. So essays that are able to present somewhat, you don't have to invent anything, but somewhat new or interesting ideas will likely, well, not likely, will get better marks. Okay, So, yeah, I mean, pollution, human activity, cars, factories. Yes, I think most of us will quickly think about that. So 9 out of 10 essays will include that content, right? So the examiner is reading the essays, and a lot of them will say people are driving too many cars, we're using too many products, we're burning fossil fuels. What else is leading to changes in nature? Okay. Try to think outside the box. That idiom means that you need to think beyond it. Okay. So think about climate change. And I want to teach you to think in this way because this is what will make you great university students. And this will make you the type of person that can solve climate change in the future. Okay. So H2, the backup says, rising temperatures will cause melting of ice caps, sea levels will raise, flooding, droughts, okay, emissions from cars. Okay, let me ask you this. Has climate change and changes like extinction of animals happened before humans? Okay. Or is it just us? Are we doing it all? This is an interesting part of our thinking as humans. We're egocentric. We think we are always controlling the world around us. Ironically, we control the world a lot less than we think, right? So has climate change happened before humans? Munisa says no. Aliyah says lack of solution. Alexander says, yeah, dinosaurs died. Fwang says yes. Yes. The Ice Age happened. Dinosaurs died. Mammoths died. Okay. Right? So, as you can see, the answer is yes. Okay, climate change has definitely happened. Why? Redexter says the sloth has died. There's still some sloth on planet Earth, Redexter, thankfully. But definitely a lot of animals, plants have died. We can see that. We have fossil records. I've dug it out of the ground myself. There's no denying it. It's not a fancy rock. It's an animal. You can see it. Okay. Azim says 5 great extinctions have happened in history, according to scientists now. Okay. So Abhi says, yeah, it's the natural law of the world, right? It's changing. The planet changes with or without humans. Okay. So the causes of environmental change are partly human and partly nature, right? So causes are pollution, human activity, cars, factories, also natural changes. In the Earth's evolution, right? Atmospheric, extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial doesn't just mean aliens, everybody. Extraterrestrial means outside of Earth, right? Like a meteor, for example. Or distance from the sun. Okay. Yes, Norislava. Natural disasters, for sure. Does everybody know that interesting fact of the mini ice age that happened in Europe? I think in the 1200s. Somebody can Google this for me really quickly. And this is a fun fact. Let's drop a fun fact into this class. Did you know that there was a mini ice age in Europe in the, I think it was 1200s, where there was ice and snow in July. It killed many plants and animals. and many people starved to death. That happened because a volcano erupted. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Sidalove says, really? Yeah. A volcano erupted, covered Europe in so much dust that it dropped the temperatures immediately. There was snow and ice in July and August, killed all of the crops. Whole bunch of people in Europe starved to death. So, was it cars? No, it was a volcano. It blew up. Okay. Dewar says, natural disasters come as results of human activity. I don't think so. Volcanoes erupted when the dinosaurs were there too. Okay. All right. So changes happen with or without us, everybody. Okay. Humans aren't the controllers as we think we are. Now you're like, oh, well, this is just depressing. Now I know that I'm doomed. No, we can prepare. You probably have read that the United States and a couple other countries together have successfully created defense systems against meteors. So now if a meteor is coming towards the Earth, there's a very good chance that we can destroy it before it causes this kind of change. Okay, they just did that, I think, last year. Everybody read about that. We now have defense systems that can detect and destroy meteors that threaten nature. Just in the last year. Okay. All right, so a lot going on here. So students, if you want a band 8 or if you want a band 9 on IELTS, you have to think at the grade 12 to university level when you're answering these questions. If you're thinking at the junior high school level, even with perfect English, you're not getting the best score. Like you're probably going like, why is age, this is task 2, just give me the vocabulary, just give me the essay. I'm just going to copy it in my IELTS exam. No, you cannot predict the question that will be asked. So it's the thinking that you have to take with you to the exam. Yes? Everybody understand? Super important. Okay? So again, that's why I'm like really, you can feel that I'm really energetic about this, because so many people get a low mark in IELTS in the writing because their essay content is junior high school. You can't get a band 7, 8, 9 with junior high school content. Guys, girls, that exam, IELTS, is getting you into college, university, master's, PhD, not into high school, okay? So that's why the age is 16 for the IELTS, because it transitions you to university and college. So your content cannot be, okay? There's a lot of bad information on the internet. Okay, and again, to learn the good information, go to the websites, gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Click the big red button to join. Learn the right information. Okay, for academic, it's aehelp.com. Learn the right information. We're going to have a live class on this website tomorrow. Okay, all right, click that button. I just want you really to think the right way for the IELTS exam. Okay, so again, just keep this in mind. This is another note for you. Okay, so note, IELTS is an exam for university and professional jobs. For high scores, bands 7 to 9, you need to come up with grade 12 to university level content. Okay. Sidalove says, thank you so much for the information. I think Sidalove is realizing like, yeah, there was just a lot of bad information out there that's telling me like, a lot of students will write this, and I'll show you what I mean by like a bad essay. I'll just start writing it. Okay. So a lot of students, they see this question. I'll show you what a band 6 essay looks like. Okay. So a lot of students see the question. Okay, here's the original question. Many experts and people agree that the biggest challenge facing all of humanity is environmental change. What do you think is the cause of this problem, and what are the solutions to ensure the survival of humanity? Okay, here's your band 6 kind of writing, and this is junior high school. Okay, so, or middle school. Band 6, and even with perfect English, okay? If it's not perfect English, now you're getting a band 5 or less, okay? With mistakes, it's a band 5. Okay, I'm going to give you the example here. Okay, and a lot of you will be like, uh-oh, that's what I've been doing, because I see these all the time. Okay, so many experts argue that global warming is the biggest problem facing people nowadays. I'm going to use some of the most classic words that I see in writing nowadays. In this essay, I will discuss the causes of this situation, and I will provide some solutions below. If you write like this in university, I guarantee that the professor will give you back the essay and say, please rewrite this essay correctly. Okay? All right? So this is your band 6 with perfect English. With mistakes, it's a band 5. Okay? If anybody recognizes that and says, oh, that's what I've been doing, then join our premium package, join these live classes, and learn the correct way to write a quality essay. Okay? All right? I know that was a bit intense, students, but I want all of you to get a band 7 or more. Okay? That's my goal here. That's my target. Okay? It just doesn't say anything. Okay? All right? Okay, so let's jump back, right? So we're talking about the controlling idea. Notice that when you know what you're doing, you can just move around. So we're talking about the controlling idea. We understood that the causes are both human-related and natural evolution of Earth, so nature-related. Okay, what are the solutions? Very good question here, right? So causes, we've got that. Now, let's talk about the solutions. What are the solutions to climate change or changes in the environment? Now, we identify that there's a human aspect here, so human impact. What are the solutions to the human impact? And then, of course, we should be thinking about what are the solutions to the nature's impact, okay? All right. So what are the solutions to the impact of nature? Yeah, Redexar, there's definitely solutions to natural disasters. Absolutely. Redexar is saying, is there a solution? Yes, there's always a solution. So think positive. Think about what? Think about what people are doing for that. Okay. All right, so human impact, less consumption, yes. Okay. Renewable energy. Sure. Okay. Now, IELTS, 250 to 300 words. You could easily write a book on this topic. So if you've got two good ideas like less consumption, renewable energy, you don't really need more. Okay. All right. Recycling, sure. Green energy, Alexander says, sure. It's renewable energy in another way. Yeah, definitely. Reforestation, tending to nature, right? So, okay. All right, sure. So we've got our quick good ideas there. How about nature's impact? So what's the solution to that? right? Somebody just said, how do you stop a natural disaster? How do you stop a volcano from exploding or an earthquake, right? So what are solutions to nature's impact, like a meteor strike? How do you stop a meteor from hammering Earth? I just told you, so think about that. Rihan says we could adjust the distance of the Earth from the sun. Yes. Anahita, I love it. You're reading my brain. Yeah, technology, right? We're using technology. We're creating technology that can help us with that, right? I just told you about that. Technology to detect and change, right? So, for example, stopping a meteor, detecting an earthquake, and moving animals. We do that now. When there's forest fires or when there's other natural disasters and we know they're coming, we help. We help nature. We quickly grab as much of nature as we can and we move it somewhere else. That's already happening in the earth. Anybody know what the machine is called that detects earthquakes? What is the machine called that says, oh, there's an earthquake? Asa says that's the ozone layer's duty, I guess. We could produce ozone, right? Maybe it's possible. They're testing that as well, making an artificial ozone layer. Yeah, very good, Redexar, your money. There we go. Redexar says it's a seismograph. We've had that for a while, right? Seismology is the study. Seismograph is the machine. Seismograph. There we go. That's some nice high-level vocabulary for you. Pop some of that in correctly into your essay, and your score's going. Examiner's going to go, I want to do a band 10, but no, I can't, so I'll just give him the band 9. Okay? Epsilonator says, hey, I said it first. No fighting over it. Jeez. Epsilonator. All right. Students, good. All right, now you've got a lot of great ideas. Would you agree that if you're the examiner and you read one essay that talks about climate change, humans driving less cars, and that's the essay, 250 words, and then you see another student's essay and that one's talking about not only human change, pollution, renewable energy, but also natural evolution and technology as the solution to detect earthquakes, natural disasters, and help the environment create artificial ozone. Which one are you going to give a band 9? Which one are you going to give a band 6? Both essays exist, students. They do. I see lots of essays and I see them both. So I see some people will write version B less, much less, and some a lot will write version A, right? So the examiner cannot give version A a band 9 if they're looking at version B, right? Okay, everybody get that? Okay. Of course, Epsilonator was joking. I was joking too, but Epsilonator, I'm pretty sure everybody else is joking too. However, let's get focused. Let's write that introduction. Okay, introduction. As I said, it has a hook. So the intro has a hook, has background, and has a thesis. Okay, the thesis is super duper important. We'll get to that in a second. Let's do the hook first. Okay, so write with me, everybody. Don't just watch me. Don't just listen. Be interactive. Write with me. Okay, so the hook is an interesting fact that includes the topic and catches the reader. I should say the reader's attention, and has no mistakes. So write a hook for me, okay? I am pretty sure there's a few very good hooks that we can write here. It's simple. What's the topic? Global environmental issues, as Azim, I think, said it, right? Rihan has a hook. Rihan, nice. I like how you wrote H colon to show me that this is indeed your hook. Okay. So Rihan has this hook for us. A major shift of temperature has turned people's lives upside down. Okay. This is a band 4. Band 4.5. Rihan. Because it's confusing. It doesn't include the full concept of changes in nature. You're just talking about temperature. It's too specific. Okay. There's a grammar problem here. It should be turned. Okay. People's lives, plural mistake here. Upside down. What do you mean? Okay. So more than half of the sentence is riddled with mistakes. It's confusing. Got to rethink it, rewrite it. Okay. All right. Shiva has this answer for us. Government and private organizations must provide awareness or educate about preservation of Earth through man-made activities. This is a band 3. I don't know what the topic is. I'm not sure what you're answering. It's off topic and grammatical mistakes. Off topic, it is not a hook. And grammar mistakes. Okay, band 3. And you're thinking, oh, Adrian's being so harsh. No, I'm just being objective, right? If I'm your examiner, I don't know you. I don't see you. I just see your writing. And I'm just going, okay, this is way off topic. It's got grammar mistakes. I don't know what's going on here. Right? So this one's about a band 4.5. Okay. All right. Let's try to find a good one here. And don't be shy, students. Mistakes are good. Mistakes are okay. It's good to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Rihan now knows, okay, this is not a hook that's going to work for me. Shiva now knows, okay, this is not a hook that's going to work for me. Okay, Azim says, nowadays, there's some environmental change around the world. Band 5. The grammar's okay. The language is okay. It is a highly uninteresting, unconvincing hook, Azim. I would not read an essay or a magazine article that started this way. I'd be like, first of all, there's not some environmental change. There's a lot of environmental change. Secondly, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay. Okay, Favor says, check mine. I got one. Favor, I don't even see yours. I'm not sure if you put it into the chat, but I do not see your hook. Okay. I'm not sure if... All right. Alexander says this. The humanity, it's just humanity. Humanity faces a critical point to stop the coming catastrophic changes. Band 4. Where's your topic? Okay, hook should have the topic. So humanity faces a critical point to stop the coming catastrophe as a result of environmental change. Now it's better. Now we have the topic. Asa says, what is the topic exactly? It's global environmental challenges, as Azim very cleverly put it. Okay. Absolutely. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you a hook, students, and you can tell me. You can say, hey, Adrian, yours is horrible too. I would give it a band 2. Okay. Or maybe you'll say, nah, I'd probably read that. Okay. Environmental changes will end. I don't want to use future. Avoid the future tense. Environmental changes can result in the extinction of humans within 50 years. Okay? If you pick up a magazine or a book and you see that kind of a topic, will you continue to read? Does it include the topic of this question? So environmental changes can result in the extinction of humans within 50 years. Okay? Favor, I do not see yours. So put it in again. Okay? You might see it on your end. It doesn't mean I see it on my end. I don't necessarily see the exact same chat that you see. Sometimes for the presenter, it will take out certain or filter certain pieces. So keep that in mind. Okay. Asa says, that sounds pretty concerning. It sure does, right? You might continue reading. Okay. Momotaro, Peach Boy, says, how do you plan your hook? Momotaro. You plan your hook by identifying the topic and thinking about a simple, impactful fact that includes your topic. So the topic is global environmental challenges. So here I'm saying environmental changes, which could also be environmental challenges, can result in the extinction of humans within 50 years. Boom, right? Hits you like a ton of bricks, as they say. Okay. All right. So that would be my hook. All right. That would be my hook for this topic. All right. Now comes the background. The background are the definitions. So what does it mean, right? Definition and importance. Okay, so what are we talking about? Why are we talking about it? Think about it that way. Okay, Rian says, definitely I will read your essay because it's convincing and I'm human. I plan to be here in 50 years. I plan my kids to be here in 50 years and I don't want us all to die, right? So we're going to read it, right? Domenico says, the grand tapestry of challenges, a few loom as ominously as environmental changes. Not bad, Domenico. A little bit awkward grammatically, but you're on the right track. Okay. Asa says, can you say threatens human survival? No, I'm gonna say extinct. I'm gonna be a bit harsher here just to have more impact. It's not a bad question, Asa. It's just I want more impact, right? So environmental challenges can result in the extinction of humans within 50 years. All right. Okay, now the definitions. Now, students, you're thinking, wow, well, Adrian's taking a really long time to get to this introduction and finish the introduction, and there's no way he's going to have enough time for this in the real test and finish the essay. Anybody thinking that right now? Is anybody thinking, Adrian, you can't do that in the real IELTS. You just don't have enough time. If you're thinking that, let me know, right? No, I don't think that, right? Maybe you're thinking it, maybe you're not. Here is, Ridvan is saying, yes, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, keep this in mind, everybody. Okay, Fong's saying, yeah. Okay, so tip, okay, a bit of good planning will enable you to write the essay much faster and much better. Okay. So yeah, you know, I'm discussing a lot of these points with you. I'm going into details. Ultimately, though, this would all only take me about 5 minutes in the real test to get to this hook. Okay. All of that planning. So here, watch And this is like, you're going to say, oh, okay, where's this coming from? Now, for those of you who are in this class from the beginning, you'll know exactly where all of this information is coming from, right? And you'll be like, oh, that's why he did that planning, okay? So environmental change, rising temperatures, the extinction of flora and fauna are resulting from both human and natural impact. Without immediate human action, this change reaches. I'm always avoiding the will. Sometimes we want to write will, just naturally will reach, but no, reaches. It reaches. It's present tense. Okay, without immediate human action, this change reaches a critical point of no return. I believe the causes are both social and environmental and natural. I can paraphrase later. The solutions are changes in human behavior and applications in technology. Okay, so this is my introduction, and that literally took me, guess how long that took me to write, to finish my whole introductory paragraph. Okay, I'm not going to fix my mistakes yet, and I'm not going to paraphrase because I want to show you how quickly you can write. Now, some of you say, okay, I don't type as fast as you, or I don't have as much English vocabulary as you, and granted, I will give you that, okay? It's not important to have that typing speed that I have, and it's not important to have the same vocabulary. What's more important is to have the same idea, your structure and your content, right? Okay. Clearly, people have had a drastic and adverse effect on our natural world with land, air, and water pollution. Since the Industrial Revolution and population boom, humans have devastated forests, oceans, and the ozone layer. Overconsumption, overproduction, and consumption of products, use of cars, have led to the demise of animals like tigers and pandas, as well as an annual increase of 1.5 degrees Celsius in temperature. Okay. In order to resolve these concerns, humans need to use renewable energy like solar, recycle, and consume less. Every person should reduce their purchase of want-based products by at least 50%. Okay. Another critical factor that is affecting nature and threatening human life are the evolutionary changes that Earth undergoes as it orbits the sun and experiences natural disasters like volcanoes and earthquakes. Indeed, volcanoes of the past have also devastated life and resulted in temperature changes, as exemplified by the Ice Age 10,000 years ago. Nevertheless, humans, with the use of technology, have the ability to both predict and intervene. Just this past half decade, a joint international effort or collaboration has developed space technology to detect potential meteors coming at Earth and send missiles to destroy these in order to prevent a dinosaur level extinction and change in the environment. Okay, so now all of you are like, what? How? But why? And all of you who are, and notice it's telling me, use more concise language. So all of you are like, well, how, why? Now, of course, you don't have the correction tools I just used, but that's what you're reviewing for when you review. Okay. So those of you who are watching this lesson from the beginning or near the beginning, you're probably like, oh, and I'm going to write my conclusion. By the way, just for fun, how long did the introduction, body 1, body 2 just take me? Or you know what? I'm going to write the conclusion just so you can tell me the whole thing. Anybody watching how long that took me? In conclusion, both humans and nature play a significant role in changing the environment and making it unsuitable for human life. However, people do have the ability to stop this, or at least slow it down, by altering habits, negative habits, and using science. It is up to humanity to invest the necessary energy and time in this critical, I'm going to say vital endeavors, or in these vital endeavors, before it is too late. Okay, but there you go. Now, how long did that take me to write? And you're going to say, well, but I can't do that on the IELTS. Sure you can, or you can do it slower. You've got a lot more time. And I'm going to explain the vocabulary in your questions. My question to you here is, I checked the time, start to finish. How long did this essay take me to type? And I'll give you the word count here, quick. Okay, the word count is 328 words. Okay, so about 70 words more than the minimum, which is good. That's about how much you want. Okay, so it's 328. This is what you want for a band 8 to band 9. Okay. Okay, start to finish. How long did that essay actually take me to type out? Anybody time me? And don't get me wrong, students, this is not to boost or brag or say, hey, I did that. It's just to get you to realize that that's how fast it is. Okay, Justin Preet says that took 25 minutes. Faber says 30 minutes, I guess. Fwong says 15 minutes. Epsilon says, I think it was like 5 minutes. It was 12 minutes. Okay, start to finish. All right. So you're like, what? Okay, it was 12 minutes. I started in my time, it was 8:33, and I finished it at 8:45. So it was 12 minutes according to the clock on the computer. Okay, so it took 12 minutes. Why is that important? Okay, because you have 40 minutes. All right, so think about this. This is the point here. Okay, key point. Okay, you have 40 minutes. Okay, for this. Ideally, you take about 5 to 8 minutes to read and clearly plan your essay, and about 30 minutes to write it, and 3 to 5 minutes to review it. Okay, that's the right strategy. Compare, it's not about me being a star. I don't care about that. So you have more than twice the time to write it. So you can be typing half as slow, and it can be simpler. Rihan, it's not about being a speedy thinker. You don't need to be a speedy thinker. That's exactly what I'm trying to show you here, is that you have 5 to 8 minutes to interpret this question, to think of some good ideas, put those ideas down on paper, paraphrase on paper, and then you've got 30 minutes to write it. And with good planning, 30 minutes is plenty of time. You have an average of 7-8 minutes per paragraph. That's lots of time. Okay. All right. Make sense, everybody? So now I'm going to go back and review it, right? So I'm going to make sure I don't have a lot of word repetition, grammatical mistakes. So I'm going to look through it, all right? So environmental challenges can result, for people who are kind of new to the class right now, and you can ask me questions at this point. So if you have questions about the vocabulary or the grammar or any other aspect of the essay, please ask me. Okay. All right. So here, again, let's look at the question. Okay. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. Many experts and people agree that the biggest challenge facing all of humanity is environmental change. What do you think is the cause of this problem, and what are the solutions to ensure the survival of humanity? Okay. Yes, Maraz, you should review each paragraph after you finish writing it. I think so. Okay. All right. Introductory, good question, Maraz. Yes. I didn't do that in this case. I just wanted to show you how quickly an essay can be put together. I would do it just as fast. I would just I would do the review between paragraphs, okay? But that's a good point, yeah. So here, environmental challenges is basically the topic is the first part of my hook. Can result in the extinction of humans within 50 years. Environmental change, rising temperatures, the extinction of flora and fauna are I'm going to say due to both human and natural impact. Without immediate human action, this change reaches a critical point of no return. Again, if you don't have this kind of vocabulary or you don't know this point of no return, you could say threshold or reaches a critical point. You can simplify it. You're still going to get a really good band score as long as you have good content. So reaches a critical point or reaches a bad point. You can simplify it even further. Okay? I believe the causes are both social and natural. Social is obviously the human aspect, right? Natural is the environment. This is my thesis here. Okay. The solutions are changes in human behavior, which is our habits, and applications in technology. Changes in human behavior, applications in modern technology. I'm going to have perfect parallel grammar here, right? Changes in human behavior, applications in modern technology. It's the exact same grammar for those 2 points, for the 2 paragraphs, right? Okay. All right. I'm going to do reading next week. Okpalugo. Okay. Good game. The way you boost your 4.5 writing is exactly by following the tips in this lesson. Okay. Epsilonator, you can correct your mistakes by knowing what kinds of mistakes you commonly make, and you do that by getting essay corrections and feedback, and then you need to look for those mistakes. So if you know that you commonly make word form mistakes or tense mistakes like past, present, future, then you know that that's what you should be searching for, and then you can find them faster. Okay. So clearly people have had a drastic and adverse, a doubling of language there, an adverse effect on our natural world and with land, air, and water pollution. On our natural world with land, air, and water pollution. Since the Industrial Revolution and population boom, comma, after the dependent clause, humans have devastated, correct the spelling, forests, oceans, and the ozone layer. Overproduction and consumption of products, use of cars have led to the demise of animals like tigers and pandas, as well as an annual increase of 1.5 Celsius in temperature globally. In order to resolve these concerns, humans need to use renewable energy like solar, recycle, and consume less. Every person should reduce their purchase of want-based products by at least 50%. Now, if you can't come up with this want-based products are products that we don't need, so it's not like food, but it's what we want. I want a new TV. Well, does your old one still work? Maybe wait a little bit, right? So if you can't come up with want-based products, just use products. You'll still get a band 8 if you have good content, okay? Another critical factor that is affecting nature and threatening human life are the evolutionary changes that Earth, notice how Earth is a capital E when we're referring to planet Earth, undergoes. Undergoes here means experiences. It's just a fancy way of saying experiences. Orbits the sun. Orbit means to go around. Orbiting the sun. 365 days. In fact, it's 365 and a quarter days. As it orbits the sun and experiences natural disasters like volcanoes and earthquakes. Indeed, volcanoes of the past have also devastated life. Did I use devastated before? No, because I took that out from up here, right? I kept adverse and took out devastated. Nice. Okay. Devastated life and resulted in temperature changes as exemplified by the Ice Age 10,000 years ago. Nevertheless, humans, with the use of technology, can both predict and intervene. Just this past half decade, a joint international collaboration has developed space technology to detect potential meteors coming at Earth and send missiles, not misses, wrong word, right? Missiles. This is why we review. To destroy this threat, or this type of threat, in order to prevent a dinosaur-level extinction and changes in the environment. There, right? Always some fixes. Okay. In conclusion, both humans and nature play a significant role in changing the environment and making it unsuitable for human life. However, people do have the ability to stop this, or at least slow it down, or stop these, or at least slow it down, by altering negative habits and using science. And using negative habits and good science, or advanced science. Again, that parallel grammar. It is up to humanity to invest the necessary energy and time in these vital endeavors before it is too late. That's my take-home message. Okay. All right. Happy saying, I'm not sure exactly what you mean. You've got all kinds of yelling at me with those capital letters. It's not 100% clear what you're telling me. But the conclusion, I think, is fine. Okay, having read it a second time. All right. The K is silent. Opalugo. Got you. Opalugo. Okay. All right. So that is your Band 9 essay once it's reviewed and fixed. Any other questions? I'm just looking to see if there are any other questions here. What are the key takeaways from this lesson, everybody? So, and again, this is the kind of information that you learn on our websites at aehelp.com and gieltshelp.com. Okay. What are the key takeaways, right? So what should you, there's a lot of content here. We covered a lot of vocabulary. A lot of information, but there are definitely some key points that you should have identified. What are the key takeaways? Students, I want you to tell me this because it tells me that I'm teaching you well or I'm not teaching you well, right? So what are the key takeaways? Number 1. What's number 1? Hopefully everybody got it. Otherwise, I need to go back and learn how to teach. What's number 1 takeaway from today's class? Bao Pham says coherence. Yes, Fuang got it. And that's good. Okay, thank you. Mariam says thinking outside the box. That's important, but it's not the key takeaway here, Mariam. It's one of them. We could say it's one of them. Fuang definitely got number 1. Prepare your ideas. So plan before you write. Don't just start writing. Plan before you write. Okay, so if you didn't get the key takeaways, yes, Tsegareta says it's good planning. You need good planning. Okay, so key takeaway, good planning. Okay, write a high school to university level essay, meaning content for those high band scores. Number 2, right? Okay. Number 3, review your essays for mistakes. All right. So plan your essay, have good content, review the essay. You have time for it. You just have to practice it, everybody. And you can do that on the website at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. So make sure to join these awesome websites. The academic one is this big red button one-time payment, lifetime access. The general is this one here. And as Carolina and I have both mentioned in this class, you can also purchase or join the premium versions through Shopify, through YouTube, through shopping. You just have to send us an email so I can activate the account after you make that purchase. And we are here to support you, help you. There are essay correction services. Those are extra. They're pay on demand, so you pay per word. It makes sense. Okay. I will post this essay for you on our YouTube channel in our community board. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. And tomorrow I will be back with speaking part 2 for members right here on YouTube. And we will do speaking part 3 on the website. We have live streaming on our websites, live lessons on the websites as well. Just another really good reason to join the premium version. So check us out there for tomorrow's speaking part 3 class, which will be at the exact same time as this class. Much love to all of you, wherever you are. You all have beautiful, brilliant brains, and I'm sure many of you will be able to write better essays than me very, very soon. Some of you maybe already do. You just need to practice. Goodbye, everyone. I'm Adrian. See you tomorrow.